We were having a conversation here on Get Up, and our friend Marcus Spears, who joins us in our studio here, was watching the program, and he sends me a text in the middle of the conversation, and I will now read to you all that text. It says, G, and by the way, I love it when you call me G. Durant has missed his window to win a championship and have people consider it to be his own. Those are the words of Marcus Spears. Swagoo, explain yourself.
Kevin Durant, 30 years old. All right, he had his opportunity in OKC. Remember, we had that tug and pull. Was it him? Was Russell Westbrook trying to take over what that team? Who was the leader of that team? Kevin Durant decided to vacate Oklahoma City. He went and joined Golden State, in which a lot of us talked about was a very weak move. Now, whether you consider it a weak move or not, he's a two-time Finals MVP. He's MVP of the league. Well, this is not about Kevin Durant being a great basketball player. I think the league has shifted now to where you have to have another superstar to win an NBA championship. And that's what I was meaning when I sent you that text, G. Like that time has passed. LeBron had the ability to go to Miami, win championships with D. Wade and Chris Bosh. And I don't think we gave him the really reign supreme king until he went back to Cleveland and came back from a 3-1 deficit. So I think KD's window has left.
So you're telling me he goes to New York and it's his team. You're telling me he can't win it.
If he goes to New York, if he and Kyrie Irving goes to New York together, they not winning a championship.
Anyone agree or disagree? Anyone here believe that Kevin Durant? Go ahead.
What? Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving can't win a championship?
They not going to win a championship in New York.
What do you think, Jay? You think Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, as the basis of a team, is a championship team in the NBA?
Well, depending upon who you surround them with, I mean, you need a good GM for that. But by the way, this whole thing that the league has shifted to always having a teammate, it's always been that way. It's always been that way. It was that way with the Boston Celtics back in the day. It was that way. Michael Jordan won one playoff game before Scottie Pippen got there. Scottie Pippen was a bad boy. People forget that when Scottie Pippen went to Portland, he was dominating people. It's always been that way. You partner up KD and Kawhi, it could be a championship.
But we never wondered whose team that was. That was Michael Jordan's team, and there was never any debate about it, and Scottie Pippen wouldn't have argued that.
We're having a conversation today about Kyrie Irving being a number 2. You going to say Kevin Durant's a number 2? Whose team do you think it would be if Kyrie Irving and KD played?
It would be KD's team. I think the point he's making, if I may speak for my client over here, is that team's not winning a championship.
I got to tell y'all a secret, something that has happened to the Golden State Warriors over the past 12 months. They've actually become Kevin Durant's team. When he first joined them, Steph Curry was the only unanimous MVP that led the Warriors to a 73-win season. That was Steph's team then. Now, if it's 5 seconds to go in the game and they about to draw up a play for somebody, they drawing it up for him. They ain't drawing it up for Steph. They're using Steph like the Rockets use Eric Gordon.
Right.
Almost like a role player. KD is being featured.
So, Jay,
but I agree with your point about if he was to leave, that may not be considered his own in Golden State because he's been unhappy there. But I disagree with the fact that he can't be the best player.
Kyrie and Kevin Durant are a bad mix. It's like putting them right back together with Westbrook, just in my opinion. You bring those two guys to New York, that's not a winning combination because one guy, the ball gets stuck. The other guy, the ball now all of a sudden has to be in his man's floor. Two great players, but that's not winning the NBA the next championship.
I'm not saying, look, it's a foregone conclusion that any team KD shows up on, he's going to be the best player. That's a foregone conclusion. I'm talking about legacy, how you're remembered, right? And when we talk about the greats in the NBA, Bill Russell is remembered as the Celtics leader. Those were his championships. He had a lot of great players around him. When we talk about MJ in Chicago, those were his championships. As good as Scottie Pippen was, I'm talking about when we have conversations about Kevin Durant at the end of his career, will we say Kevin Durant led a team to an NBA championship?
The Golden State Warriors have won 3 championships in the last 4 years. How many times has Steph Curry won Finals MVP?
Zero.
Exactly.
But how many times?
But he led the past 2, though.
But nobody has ever said that.
But we see it.
Those are not the conversations we're going to have. What we're going to talk about is KD joined the best team in the NBA. That's going to be the conversation, guys.
When I was in the gym and he dribbled down like it was a walk in the park and pulled up from 35 feet and shot it in LeBron James' face, to me that day it became the Golden
Keep going back to the type of player. I'm talking about how we remember guys.
The perception.
How we remember guys.
So let me ask you a question. What would it take for you, in your mind, for KD to be remembered in that same legacy as Michael Jordan or somebody else. Like he needs to go and
saying
do
he
it all
needs
by
his own
himself.
team. He
But
needs to go.
if he goes in,
Oh, wait. Kevin Durant is about to join a league company this year.
I understand, but I'm saying how he sees
The Golden
it.
State Warriors, if they win a championship this year, he's going to be Finals MVP for the third straight time.
Okay.
Come on,
I think
man.
only Michael Jordan has done that.
That's what I'm saying. How would it take for him to be remembered?
If he goes with Kawhi and
like
wins one for the Clippers,
You got
what
to
would
take the
say?
road less traveled, guys. Like, let's be honest. You have to take the road less traveled in order to be
But if
remembered.
he does that, who does he need to partner up with that would still make you feel like
If
it's
he
his team?
went to New York and won a championship with Kyrie and a bunch of role players, then I would tell you KD legacy is cemented
If he did it
as
with-
one of the guys that led a
did it with
franchise to a
Kawhi?
championship.
If he did with
I
Kawhi
think-
and the Clippers, would
I
that be the same?
think the message here.
Kawhi in the conversation for the best in the league.
The message here is, if Swagoo sends you a text, always read it.